So today we've been running an acupuncture session with residents here at Cosgum. Could you explain a bit about what acupuncture is to somebody that may not know what on earth it is?
So what we do here particularly is called NADA acupuncture, or more accurately auricular acupuncture. Auricular acupuncture refers to the ear, and there are 5 points in the ear that we use to do the treatment for auricular acupuncture. So it means that ideally, once people are happy to have 5 needles in their ear, then they will have 10 needles in total for approximately 40 minutes. During that time, they will meditate, usually to music, and we all do some deep breathing. The treatment itself promotes a sense of well-being and relaxation for the people and gives them a sense of calm and grounding.
So, if it's possible to explain the procedure of acupuncture, obviously it involves needles, for example.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to see some of the equipment and also just explain the procedure if somebody's come into the room to start the acupuncture session from beginning to end?
Yeah, of course. So we have one particular type of needle. So as you will see, these needles have a very bright, luminous handle on them. So ideally, should they fall out, we'd be able to pick them up very, very easily. Obviously, the one thing we're very careful about during acupuncture treatment is any form of needle stick injury. So needles can fall out during treatment. So we tend to use a hard floor so we can hear them drop on the floor if that happens. And we also use chairs where people are sitting upright so that if the needle falls, it will fall onto their clothes and then potentially onto the floor. The needle itself is made of stainless steel, and it's a very, very fine needle. I'm not sure if you can see that needle, but as you can see, it's got a very, very fine tip on. So in itself, when we place the needle in the different points of the ear, we will usually ask the person to breathe in, and when they exhale, that's when the needle will be placed into the ear, using a slightly twisting motion when the needle goes in, which creates the least amount of resistance when it's going into the skin. So it enters the skin, usually 1 to 2 millimeters, and then it will stay in the skin till the end of the treatment. It causes virtually no pain whatsoever, maybe a slightly sharp sensation when it first goes in, but that is over within the first couple of seconds, and usually there is no sensation when the needles are sitting in the ear.
So then after that, there's a period of meditation to relaxing music. What happens after the needles are in the ear?
So once the needles are all in the ear, we tend to do some guided breathing. So by that, we're just getting the person to focus on deepening the level of their breathing, slowing their breathing down a little bit, bringing them into the moment, so to stop their minds from racing around stressful thoughts or things that they might have to do that day. So literally bringing them into the here and now. The music plays, obviously that's somewhere where their minds can wander in the soft music. And then they stay in that zone for anywhere between sort of 20 to 40 minutes. And once we've reached the end of the session, we'll just complete that session, bringing them slowly back into the room, do some more deep breaths before we then bring the session to a close. At the end of the session, we'll then take the sharp spin. This sharp spin goes around to each person. In order to remove the needles, we take the needles at the base of the ear out first. That's to stem any bleeding that might be caused when the needles are removed. We'd stem any bleeding with a cotton bud, and everything goes directly into the sharp spin once it's completed. And then hopefully we go off in a relaxed manner and we come back again a few days later and do it all over again.
So how long does it take from beginning to end? Because obviously the session that was done today was just involving 2 needles, but it can take up to 5, I understand.
Yeah, the needles are relatively quick. Once we're fairly experienced, you can get the needles in 30 seconds, 45 seconds. That's not the time-consuming part of the treatment. So usually around 40 minutes for a session.
Fantastic. And how was it for those who attended today? What was the feedback that you got?
So some of the people who attended today have done acupuncture previously in residential settings, so they knew what to expect, and therefore they could relax quite quickly. For other people, it was a new experience, and therefore I didn't make the session too long today because people have to get used to the idea that they can relax, and therefore 40 minutes can seem quite a long time for people who were doing it for the first time today. Yeah, but generally positive feedback, no real issues with the needles whatsoever, and all-round consensus that the treatment was relaxing for them.